Good afternoon or good evening, I should say. I've been at this desk for a little over 6 hours and coming up for air because I'm super excited, taking a little break for myself, but super excited about one of my students in the 90 Day to Launch program. We had our first session today, and I'm just super excited because she has an amazing idea for a product. I put a little of my creative genius. As soon as she told me about it, my wheels started spinning, and we were able to kind of define down what that product should be, how it should function. And, I'm excited because it's like really fun. If you don't know me, if you've never spent time around me, hey, good evening, Kai. How you doing? If you ever spent time around me, I just live and breathe entrepreneurship, business, and creativity and monetization inside of your business. So it's just natural for me to just look at anyone's business and automatically the whistles start going off. So me and her had our first session today, and we got some clarity around which products she should start with first. And this is a I wouldn't say an easy one, but this is not a common product in the market, and I think she's gonna open a new lane, and it's gonna be a hit for her. It's gonna be a hit for her. So not only do I help you find your vendor, just help you kind of. Right now, we're working on defining her name so we can secure her brand. We're still doing a little bit of homework. She has some homework to do with the product, some things she needs to figure out. I've gave her some guidance, but ultimately she has to make the executive decision. But now we are waiting for her to secure that name of that brand. Being that I'm a person that has had issues with trademarking in my early years as an entrepreneur. You just can't pick a name out the sky. You got to do your homework. You got to know if it's been taken, who's using it, where is it used, what is it being used for. Thank you, Kai. I'm super excited. I was like, man, I didn't know coaching could be this fun. I thought it was going to be overwhelming, but it's really what I do every day for myself. So it's easy for me to share it with someone, especially someone who's invested the time and the money and is ready to get the work done. So I'm super excited. I can truly see. And one thing I do is make sure that she has a couple products up her sleeve, but I wanted her to start with the hit. I wanted to start with her to start with the one she's going to build the brand around. And it's an amazing idea. So I can see it going so many places. Yes, it is. It's extremely fun, extremely rewarding. Things keep popping in my head for her. And I keep sending her the messages like, hey, do this, do that, look up this, check this. So she came to me to hold her hand, and that's exactly what I'm doing, is holding her hand. She already has ideas, ingredients, and a product that she's working with, but she wants to take it to another level and have some success with it beyond her current space and really get it to market. And I think it's a product that's definitely needed for the market. So of course I can't talk to you about it because I'm under a verbal disclosure statement. Don't you wish? Yes. This is the help that I wish I had. So mind you, it took me more than 90 days to come. It took me about 2 years, because there was nobody that I could really ask. I just had to do my own homework and figure it out, figure it out. And, so she's finna cut to the chase. I'm going to help her cut to the chase because I'm bringing not only my experience, my good experiences, my successes, I'm also bringing my failures to the table because I know what's not going to work. I already know, like, get that name together because you don't want to spend money and time with a name and then you've got to go back to the drawing board and change all of your packaging and spend some more money. So if it sounds like somebody else, that ain't your name. Because if you have the same phonetic sounding, and I had this experience in one of my first salons, Textures Inc. And there was another Textures. I was a new young entrepreneur, 2002. I opened the salon Textures Inc. And there was a Textures on the west side of town, whole different market, different genre. But guess what? Every time someone called 411, they were confused. Brand confusion. Yes, there was confusion in the marketplace. And so 411 would give them the listing of, this was before we could just Google stuff. 411 would give them the listing of the other textures because they've been in the yellow pages longer. And so they'd be like, is this Tammy? No, I'm looking for Tammy at Textures. And so it went on for like a couple of months to the point where I remember start seeing little old ladies peeking in my window. And I was, and one of my salon distributors, he was like, it's another Textures over in Brentwood, and they asked about you. And he says, I don't think it's an issue. But in the marketing space, it's an issue because it did confuse their customers. And mostly they already kind of had their customers. I was new. It confused my customers because 411 kept sending them to having them call them. And then they have to call me. So now they were like, well, who is this Textures? So eventually I got a cease and desist. And I've got some legal consult behind it. And they were like, the spellings are different, but the phonetic sounding is the same. The phonetic sounding is the same. And so that brings in the brand confusion. And guess what? I got a few people on my list that I got to send some cease and desist to. Cause these people are not even finding their own name. They're just like, hey, I like her name. I'm going to use her name too. And that is something you just cannot do when somebody has spent the time to build a brand, to do the trademark, to do the work. I always say, hey, Roderick, be inspired. Be inspired. It is okay to admire someone's hard work and whatever they've invested to have someone mapping out their brand and, putting the pieces. And it is not it's easy if you've done it a couple times, but it is still a lot of work. And when you take the time to get yourself packaged in a certain way, you just can't come along and like jack somebody's brand and say, hey, I'm finna have a Silk Out bar too. Or, hey, I'm finna have, Rod's cakes too. No, you can't do Rod's cakes. You can't do Kai Smith like Kai Smith do Kai Smith. You can't do Silk Out like I do Silk Out. And even if like I said, you can have all the components, you can steal information. I was sharing in my video the other day, I've had somebody actually steal proprietary information from me. For my brand. And I just, my thing was good luck to you because you can copy all you want to, but you still got to run the play. And you don't have my strategy. You don't have my faith. You don't have my courage. You don't have any of that you're going to run with. So even with all the information that you're still just going to be staring, saying, some information, but information is useless unless it's really put into action and you can do something with it. And even then, you just need to make it your own. I have brands that inspire me, and I called it brand inspiration. I look at packaging. There's packaging that I'm attracted to that I'm not going to say, ooh, do my packaging just like this store. Do my packaging just like this. But I'm going to say, ooh, I like this element of the packaging. I like how clean it is. I like how this font is arranged. I like how this is. Now I need to communicate that to a designer to say, let's put this type of finish, this inspiration. Let's create something for me, still creating, but with the inspiration of something that I've already seen. Someone copied and pasted the whole website. Yep. Including it. Right. People. And that's a compliment. God, that is a compliment. And she's just overly inspired. That's all I can call it. Overly inspired. So yes, speaking facts, Roderick. Like I said, be inspired, but don't copy. You cannot, you just cannot copy. So I'm excited for her because I'm going to make sure she's in her lane. I want to make sure that she chooses the perfect name so we can get all the social media, the trademark information. She can put all that on lock first. That's her first assignment. Her first homework is to get this name together. Once we get this name on lock, we already know what we're looking for in terms of ingredients. We're looking for other components for her product. But we got to get the names and things on lock so that we can start working on other aspects while she's testing her formulas and things of that nature and perfecting it so that she can bring it to market. I truly believe she can have her product launched by in 90 days, give or take, and it'll be the beginning of her adding on to her specific line. Niche it down with intention. No, right? Yeah, you have to be clear with who you are and why you're bringing a brand to market, not just, well, everybody else is doing it. You know, I know people with products in, not just in the beauty business, just products that are sitting, or talent. You know, your talent may be a craft or something you could teach someone, or a gift, you know, a skill set that you could serve someone, and you probably sitting on it, you know, because you're not confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. And that probably just means you need some more experience, or you need some coaching to help you do some personal development and maybe some spiritual development, maybe heal a couple of wounds so you can get outside of yourself and deliver yourself from whatever's locking, you know, holding you down from really stepping outside of yourself and working your brand and building your business. I hate when people tell me, oh, I got plenty of product, but I don't sell it. Or when someone tells me that I sell this and I've been knowing them for a while. And I'm like, you sell what? I've never seen it. Like, let me go back to your page. Did I miss something? It doesn't look like you sell anything over here. Or is it a hobby? You know, and that's fine if it's a hobby, but sometimes people try to link up and partner up and they're not even as functional in their business as they say they are. And then they want to link up with you to do some business. No, you not really about that life. I need to look up with people who live, eat, and breathe this thing, because this is a lifestyle. So 2023, I still have room for about 4 more people. I thought I was going to take 10. I can't take 10 because I'm finna really work. I'm finna over deliver to ensure these people launch their brand. So I have room for about 4 more people to join a 90-day launch program in which I will be holding your hand. Right. They want to date entrepreneurship, but this real life thing is not sexy all the time. You know, we show the highlight reel and things of that nature, but the real life thing behind the scene, it gets gritty, it gets down, it gets dirty. It's sometimes you crying, sometimes, you know, you shouting, sometimes you yelling, sometimes, you know, and then it is a good side to it too, but it gets ugly sometimes. And it's not always sexy. And some people only want the sexy part. When it's time to grind it out and put that faith muscle into action, or that risk muscle where you're going to go for it all, or you ain't going at all. That's the part. Oh, I didn't sign up for that. I'm not taking no risk. Okay. But then don't expect a reward. Where you don't put in a risk, there's going to be no reward. That couch in this office chair. Right. You know, and sometimes you just have to push through, or sometimes you just have to take the sleep and just regroup. And, you know, sometimes I'm in a season now, and I go in this season and I'm in it right now. I just take a series of naps because I'm clocking in like 3 times a day, because I need to work 3 times a day. I don't need to just work 4 hours. I'm not in the 4-hour season right now. I'm redeveloping, regrouping, re-putting some things together. And this is the life. You know, I need to wash my hair. I just slap this on so I can go live and get back to work, because I just accomplished a few things. I'm going to take a breather. It's 7:47. I got time to take a power nap and get back up and work some more. Kenitria, hey, she said, good evening, lady sexy. Yeah, right. It's ugly, the work. Hey, yeah, we miss you too. Yeah. Right. All that good stuff. And sometimes you just have to, just take a break and push back, and then give yourself some personal time, love on yourself, and then get back to it. Like I was sharing my holiday nails. I knew I was going to be packing orders up until December 20th, and my nail appointment was way overdue, but I was like, I am not going to get my nails done and still have to crack boxes and throw boxes, and I'm just waiting. So I waited, and they were hanging on by a thread, and I just wrote it out. So it's the good, the bad, and and the beautiful of being an entrepreneur. So that's what I wanted to share. So I'm excited about helping entrepreneurs launch, okay? Get started. 2023 is your year to get free of whatever's been holding you back, whatever excuses you've been making. You know, excuses, they sound good if you believe them, but they're just excuses. I have a rebuttal for every excuse. Every excuse. Read my shirt. My mouth doesn't always say it. My face will. I don't want to hear it. There's a, you can make the excuse as sexy as you want to make it, but at the end of the day, nobody's stopping you from getting started but yourself. And if you start to remove the excuses, remove the limits, open up your mind to the opportunities. And if you're really serious about what you say it is you want to do, you won't let another year go by of you, okay, I'm going to get started this year. It can be another year, another day, another hour. Just get started, you guys. Get started. Yes, limited beliefs. Like I said, you have to pull the brakes off of that and deliver yourself from, maybe it was childhood chatter. You can't do this. You'll never do this. Who are you to think you can do this? If you've always been governed by somebody else telling you something, then you may need to break free of the voices of other people that have embedded themselves in your head and remove all of that stuff out. Maybe you need to start creating your own mantras, your own I ams. And preach that into your spirit every single morning, every single time that negative thought comes in your head. You can remove it by putting a new thought. Make a list of new thoughts. If you have challenges with limited beliefs, you need to create new thoughts and you need to embed them into yourself. Nobody's going to come and boost you up better than you're going to boost yourself up. Because if you have to wait for others, yes, if you have to wait for others to make you feel great, then you'll be waiting for a long time, or your greatness will be very short-lived. And by all means, get some therapy, you guys. People are walking around carrying burdens, carrying heavy loads that it does need to be talked about. And maybe you don't have anybody to talk to about it, or maybe you don't want to burden other people. I have very few friends that I talk to about things that's going on. And even then, sometimes I'm like, you know what? I don't want to dump this on you today. So I'll just keep it to myself. But that's what therapists are for. You have somewhere to get it out. It needs to come out and you need to be free of it. Be free of it, because you don't want to vent to the wrong person. You don't want to tell the wrong people how you're doing, because people can easily, use it against you. So you have to be very, very, very careful. So get you a therapy. I'm sure she said there's probably some free programs, but if you have insurance, there's probably some insurance that you can just find a space to talk to someone who's trained to listen and trained to help you work through your thought process around what's holding you back and what's, keeping you from moving forward. So if that's you, if you're somebody who's ready to launch your brand and you're ready for me to hold your hand and help put some of my creative genius. Yes. I've learned to walk in all my creative space and help others develop their brand and launch. So I can't wait to have her launch. But she's like, oh, how many should I launch? I says, let's not talk about how many we're going to launch right now. Let's lock in this name and let's work on these ingredients, and then we can go from there. But definitely she's going to be right on time to launch in about 90 days. So I have room for about 4 more people. If you're interested in working with me, by all means, go to www.tammygolden.com or bootstrap2sevenfigures.com to learn how you can get in the program. She's actually doing a VIP, so I work with her one-on-one, but you can also do a group program in which we don't get one-on-ones, but we do stuff in a group for over 90 days. So whichever option is best for you, then get in where you fit in. But I do have room for 4 more people at this level. We'll see if I run this back again, but I'm excited. I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited for how her product is gonna launch and how it's gonna benefit a lot of people. All right, you guys take care, and I will chat with you later. Bye-bye.